Let's talk about a question that's probably on the minds of a lot of parents and educators right now. Should our kids be learning about artificial intelligence? We're going to dive into why the answer to that is probably more urgent than you think.
Wow, that's a pretty bold statement to kick things off with, isn't it?
It's designed to make you stop and think, because in a world that's being completely reshaped by AI, this isn't some hypothetical question anymore. It's absolutely critical.
And here it is. This is the fear that stops the conversation right in its tracks. We get these images of kids just glued to screens, their imaginations just draining away. But what if that fear, as common as it is actually based on a huge misunderstanding of what AI can be? Let's break that down.
Okay, first things first, we have to get our heads around the fact that AI isn't some far-off futuristic thing from a movie. It's here. It's already woven into the fabric of our daily lives, and especially into our kids' lives.
I mean, just think about it for a second. When your kid shouts a question to a voice assistant, or when YouTube suggests the next video, or they play a game that magically gets harder as they get better, they are using AI. They are already users. And here's the crucial part. They're often using it without having any clue what's going on behind the screen.
So, this is the big shift in thinking we need to make. Since they're already swimming in this AI-driven world, the debate has to change. It's not about if we should shield them from it anymore. It's about how we empower them with knowledge.
All right, let's tackle those fears head on. A lot of the anxiety around kids and AI boils down to a few really common but really powerful myths. You can see the conflict right there. On one side is the fear that AI is just a crutch, that it's going to make our kids' minds weaker. But the reality, when it's taught the right way, is the exact opposite. It becomes a tool that actually challenges them to think differently, to solve puzzles in new ways, to question the answers it gives them, and even to create things they couldn't before. So how does it actually build intelligence? Well, learning about AI is really about understanding systems. It's about learning how to give really clear instructions, how to spot patterns, and how to think step by step to get the result you want. And what are those? They're the core building blocks of problem solving and critical thinking.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. The biggest risk isn't the technology, it's ignorance. A child who uses AI without getting it is just a passive consumer. But a child who understands it, they can become a conscious, active creator. This brings us to a whole new way of thinking about education. We need to stop seeing AI as this scary thing that pushes out the basics and start seeing it as a new layer of knowledge, one that's becoming just as essential as reading and writing. Do you remember when learning how to use a computer suddenly became a standard part of school? That's the perfect way to think about AI literacy. It doesn't replace math or English, it works with them. It gives kids a new toolkit for a new world. Because ultimately, this is the goal, right? We want to raise a generation of kids that isn't scared of new technology, but is actually curious about it, confident they can handle it, and resilient enough to adapt when it changes, because it's definitely going to change.
Okay, so how do we actually do this without totally overwhelming kids with lines of code? Well, the key is a slow, steady, age-appropriate approach. Let's see how this journey can build step by step. See, it starts really simple. For the little ones, it's just about noticing the AI that's already around them, explaining that an app suggests a video because it learned from what they watched before. As they get a bit older, they can start playing with simple tools. And then by their teen years, they're ready to grapple with the big, important stuff, like the ethics of it all. Now, beyond just preparing them for the future, teaching AI literacy has this incredibly powerful, immediate benefit, and it's one that every single parent needs to hear. This is so critical. In a world of deepfakes and misinformation spreading like wildfire, a child who understands how AI can be used to fake an image or a voice is a child who is armed with the best defense there is: knowledge. They can learn to question what they see because they have some idea of how it was made.
So as we bring this all together, let's just be really clear about what's at stake here. The choice we're making right now about AI education is going to define the next generation.
We are literally standing at a fork in the road. Down one path, we have a generation of passive users who are basically controlled by technology they don't understand. Down the other path, we have a generation of active creators who are in control, shaping their tools and shaping their world. The choice seems pretty clear, doesn't it?
History has proven this to be true over and over again. From the printing press to the internet, understanding the big technology of your time is power. And this is a power that we absolutely have to pass on to our children.
So, should children learn AI? The answer is a resounding yes. But, and this is a big but, it has to be done wisely, in those age-appropriate steps, and with a huge focus on ethics and responsibility. The enemy here isn't AI. The enemy is a lack of understanding.
Let's end with this thought. The future isn't something that's just happening to our kids. It's something that's waiting for them to build. And by giving them the tools to understand AI, we're not just preparing them for the future, we're empowering them to go out and create it.